Salutations, felicitations, and jubilations. Welcome to another exciting episode of the RP Gamer Experience. I am your host, Phil Willis, aka JCServant, the Utah Polygamist with RPGamer.com, your source for news, reviews, and home to the best gaming community on the net. Check out our podcast, articles, interviews, impression, and more over at RPGamer.com. It's chaos. Chaos. You know what time it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what time it is. It's time for more Dragon Quest XI's. I can stop this whenever I want. I can stop playing whenever I feel like it. I'm not addicted! I'm not. But we're going to play more Dragon Quest XI's. Here we go. Just at the end of this morning, we got a ship. You know, it does have this little story. I should probably do that at the beginning of every stream. The story thus far, because they have like a story thus far in there. It's really loud in my headset there. I'm gonna turn that down a few ticks. Just a few ticks over here too. We'll come over to here. There we go. Wonder if they got that that story so far organizer. Oh, this is pretty cool. Didn't know they had that there. If they have that in the miscellaneous menu. Info, the story so far. There we go. The ongoing search for the Rainbow leads our heroes to glorious Gondolia, where they go to the docks and try to get Sylvando's ship. Unfortunately, they're off limits until the Signor Universo contest is on, and only Doge Rotondo, the organizer of the event, can give the go-ahead for anyone to enter. Having heard this, Eric and Phil decide to seek him out, but when they find him, they are swiftly rebuffed. They return to the Friends to learn that Doge's son had been struck dumb by a terrible curse. They soon find a cure, and while Sylvando and the girls are delivering it, Eric and Phil try to bag a spot for the contest. There, they find themselves face to face with Jasper, general of the Heliodorian army. The rest of the party arrive just in time, and with their help, Phil manages to escape. Unfortunately, Eric isn't so lucky. After a daring rescue mission, Eric is saved, and the party flee to the seas aboard Sylvando's ship, the Salty Stallion. But things turn sour when Jasper sends a seriously strong sea monster to try and sink them. Just when it seems all hope is lost, Doge Rotondo appears, scaring off the beast with the fearsome firepower of the Gondolian Armada and saving those who restored his son's voice. Finally safe, at least for now, our heroes set sail for the open sea to continue their search for the Rainbow. So that's that. I'm gonna read that at the beginning of our stream just so we all remember where we're at. That's a pretty good wrap up right there of what happened in the last session. If you missed it this morning, you are now caught up. And we got a ship now, which is always an important part of any Dragon Quest game, is to get a ship. It says I'm supposed to go to the city up there, but now I've noticed there's an anchor over here that shows you where you can disembark. And I'm kind of curious what is there. If I had to take a stab in the dark, I'd say it's where the King of Mini Metals is hiding out, because they always like to stick them on an island somewhere, I swear. Ooh, shiny. A handful of glass. An urn of royal soil. Once I finish this, I will probably not finish this before JRPG July is over. It's beefy. Beefy. Super beef. Super E. So much beef chaos. So much beef. And let us not forget that, of course, I will be spending some time significant time with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. 30 to 40 hours? Okay. Let's take a look here, right? Just a great question. Chaos is asking, just how long is this game? Let's do the S. So if you just beeline the main story, you're looking at a bit over 57 hours. If you're going to do some of the extras, which I tend to do some extras, you're looking at 90. And if you're going to try to complete everything, which is not me, you're going to try to get every single thing that's out there, you're looking at 132. So an average of 81 hours is what we're looking at. And I'm already, I think, I'm like 16 hours in. We could take a look at the save file, but I'm already invested a number of hours and I haven't even gotten the whole party together yet. I feel like I'm nowhere near what would be considered the midpoint. And I always feel like that whatever's on that what's to beat, I always take usually a bit longer. Now, to be fair, Chaos, you know, and this kind of puts me more in the middle category, I spent time on the 2D mode, which really only served the purpose of some extra grinding and some extra get-togethers, but took time off the clock. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do that. That 2D mode, the way it returns you back to 3D, it has a lot of issues, and it just, the more I do it, the worse it gets, it seems. As I discovered just how irritating that mode is when it takes you back to 3D mode. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that. However, there is one of the new lands that they added with 11S that I was streaming was it this morning or last night? That where you get to visit old scenes from the older games if you can collect them, and that seems really cool to me. And you play those in 2D mode, and that's pretty smooth. That part works very smoothly. So but that does require going and collecting certain things to open those areas up, the passwords. And so that would take some time off the clock as well if I want to do that. I don't really want to beeline and rush through this, right? I want to enjoy the parts of it that I really like and enjoy. The funny thing is with Final Fantasy XIV, there's nothing I really like. I've enjoyed the other parts of it that I care to enjoy outside of the story. So with 14, you don't see me spending a whole lot of time. But like I tried some of the other modes. I do find like 14 has, I forget what they're called, but there's these dungeons that are kind of roguelike that are super interesting that I would like to spend more time in on one hand, but then I'm like, nah. I think if it was in a single player game, I would spend a ton of time in them. But everything that's tied to multiplayer game tends to take way too much time. It doesn't respect my time. The monsters here are a little bit more of a challenge here. I'm actually having to worry about healing everybody. Not a huge challenge. Ooh, treasure chest. And there's the ship off in the distance. That's pretty cool. Ooh, I found a recipe book. Strength ring, agility ring, prayer rings. Nice! Well, that's a nice find right there. That'll let me make better rings. But I definitely feel this is such for me anyways, a compelling experience that I want to spend time in the world and I don't want to rush it. There's definitely RPGs, and I put 14 on them, that I just want to kind of get through the story and experience the story as quickly as possible. And anything else that's kind of trying to sidetrack me is not something I'm super interested in. How about you, Chaos? How's Crown Trick treating ya? Oh, it's another one of them damn locked doors. Mark this map down for another locked door, boys and girls. Maybe the whole point is once you get to key, do this whole thing in 2D mode and open up all those doors. Did you beat all of, so you beat all of the different worlds and stuff? Nice. And you're like, I don't want to do any post-game, I'm done. Boom. Or what are they called? Not worlds, but like chapters. They're called like chapters. Whoosh. Nice, good job. You're a smarter cookie than I am, Chaos. Good job.
Not bad at all.
Savano's shield looks like a pot lid. Probably is a pot lid.
Even greater.
He is way too happy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel better than ever.
Wow, they all leveled up off of that, I swear. Where's the darn ship at? It's, you gotta hang to the left and then go south. Got it. Got it. Going back to the ship. This is a cool little island. Wasn't the mini metal haven I thought it was gonna be, but I did find a nice recipe. So what's the next game on Chaos's list? It's interesting. It looks like I could probably sell to any part of the world right now if I wanted to, maybe. I mean, I won't go too far off the beaten path, but yeah, looks like I could kind of go out here. Uh-oh. Oh my. Got some new enemies. Doop, 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 doop. He's like, can't really check what's next. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's those three games. I don't know, like, after, I'm gonna really continue to work hard on those three games. You're gonna see, like I said, you're gonna see me streaming a lot. But after those three, I don't know exactly what's next on the list.
Fabulous.
Fabulous! Playing some endless games. You know, I kind of felt like I kind of hit my end with Monster Hunter Rise. You know, I'm just waiting for Sunbreak. I feel like if Sunbreak wasn't coming out, I'd be done with Rise for a while, a very long time. In fact, I think I've squeezed all I care to squeeze out of Monster Hunter Rise. I'd rather go back and play Monster Hunter World because I felt like it had more variety to offer in the in-game, which is kind of Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which was the same. Like with Monster Hunter World, I didn't feel like its in-game was all that compelling at all. Once I was done, I did a few more things, unlocked a couple more weapons and outfits, and then I was pretty much done with it. They had events and stuff. The events didn't, really interest me all that much. Okay, I think this is the place we're going to next. I think so. I should probably check my notes. Thankfully with this game, you don't have to take many notes because it generally keeps you posted on what you're next, at least in 3D mode. Set sail for Old Sword Coast, which lies off the northeast. Oh, I went northwest. Northeast. Yeah, if I really like a game, Hyrule Warriors, I played a ton of that post-game stuff, so that's, as you play, as one of the, at least for me, one of those endless games in terms of, like, I don't want it to end, so I just keep doing they have so many post-game permutation missions you can do And they, you know, the unlocks get slower and slower, but there's still things for me to unlock, higher level weapons, skins, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's what Monster Hunter like. A lot of players in Monster Hunter World were still playing it well after I did, because there was rare the gems that are best used for especially offensive optimization are extremely rare, and so you'd have to farm a lot to get, you know, the right, not just the one gem you're looking for, but probably the one combination that you're looking for. So there was always kind of that search for that.
Not bad at all.
But that kind of like lower drop rate was reserved just for those super, you know, high end kind of gems. I feel like with Iceborne you still kind of got that there, but it's a little bit easier. Plus there's other things you can be working towards, like skins and stuff. Right. Oh, wait. I've been here before. Shiz pickles.
Hey, listen.
We're back. We've been to plenty of detours along the way, but we're finally back on the trail of the Rainbow. Dave said the merchant who bought it was headed northeast from Gondolia towards Sodrust. Northeast from Gondolia. Can I see the entire world? Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong place. Back to the ship! Oh, but there's a shiny over there. I gotta have the shiny. It's all mine. Yeah, except Chaos, when you're playing at that level, you're not spending 30 minutes fighting any monster. You're cutting those things down in 5 minutes tops. Again, go watch the YouTube videos, my friend. People with high skill rates beat those monsters in a lot less than 30 minutes. Or skill. People with high skill levels. Okay, I'm supposed to be up there. They really mean far northeast. Oh yeah, no, they farm quickly. They do, they do, they do. Do. Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes or so fighting one monster for one. Now it's not just 1%. It's 1% times. So usually there will be like 1% on, 1% base, but there's usually 3 base drops for every monster if you do certain investigations. And then there's usually extra percentages for breaking the head and stuff like that. So it's not just a flat 1%. Usually you can increase your odds by dismantling the monster properly and doing the quest under certain conditions. So you do have ways to play with that as well. It does change. It does actually change a lot, though, when you go from 30 minutes to 5 minutes. That's a factor of 6. So that would be my definition of 6 times the drop rate per hour is my definition of changing quite a bit. Yeah. You go from, even if it's just 1%, you go from 12% chance per, you go from 2% chance per hour to 12% chance per hour. I would say that's sufficient, or that's good. You want the game to last a long time, so 12% per hour. But no, you can even make it, you can make it even much better than that if you know what you're doing. And trust me, people at that level know what they're doing. A one-size-fits-all description. I think there is a big difference between beating a monster in 5 minutes and versus 30. But I get it. You're one of the few people like I feel like you're one of the few people that I know of
Victory!
that plays games really well that could beat those monsters, in 5 to 10 minutes tops, because you have a good skill, with those types of games. When you talk about more casual players like myself, who really aren't that good, you've seen how I handle Dark Souls, right? I can't handle Dark Souls. You've seen it all. Um, then that's why people like us take 30 minutes. Handy heal. And it says something that a filthy, casual like myself who has struggles with Dark Souls bosses in the best of days, doesn't have a lot of patience, as you've seen, and for this stuff, is puts so many hours into Monster Hunter, and that's what it comes down to, right? If you really like the game, I mean, that's what it all kind of boils down to, is if you like the game. Sure. There's a lot of similarities between Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 11S here that I'm playing, right? Is it 11S? 10S? 11S? I forget which Dragon Quest I'm on now. 11! 11! I had to double check that. I kept getting so confused whether we were on 11 or 10. Anyways, I keep forgetting 10's the MMO. Anyways, yeah, that's exactly Ron 8. Hey, Moncappy, how are you doing today? There's a lot of similarities between these two games, Moncappy, but I am enjoying this one a lot more. I can't say for a fact yet, because I haven't quite put in as much time into this yet as I did 7, but I quit 7 after attempting it twice. But I feel like this one's going to be something I want to put a lot more time into. And it just has a lot to do with the fact that it's a lot more refined and some quality of life stuff that's important to me. Yeah, pacing issues. Yeah, I think you're right on that, Moncappy. There's some pacing issues that makes it more of a snore fest. Sure. It's just those little things that I can't quite put my finger on. I'm sure I could. I talk a lot. I would think about something to say, but I think ultimately it just comes down to, yeah, I kind of like this one a lot better. And it's not even a graphics. I play games with old graphics all the time. And playing this on the Switch, I'm hardly playing with the best graphics anyways. Gonna head on up here to, we're headed over here to the Warriors Rest Inn, it looks like. Yeah. Dragon Quest 8 was a collaboration with Level 5. I even like this better than Dragon Quest 8. Dragon Quest 8 is something I could return to, but I'm not in a rush to return to it. And one of the things that I really love about it that makes this game much more enjoyable to me, I hate to say this, but I'm a filthy casual. I love the fact that it tells me where the next quest objective is at. Not gonna lie. I get very frustrated, as you guys know, when I don't know what the game expects of me. And I spend like an hour and a half talking to every NPC 13 times. But this game constantly lets you... Oh, we can go to Edric's future home. Interesting. Erdrick's. But this game is constantly, constantly reminds you of where you need to go. I don't know if that's something we turned off. I know that probably gets on some people's nerves, but I'm a big fan. Oh, far land of Zword Rust, from whose earth turlips trust, home of the brave, the just. The purple orb's protection spreads peace in all directions. Come worship its perfection. That's an old song from Sword Rust. They say the purple orb it mentions, is still around somewhere. I've got a purple orb here, buddy. Which means I need to talk to somebody. Studying the history of sword rust, so I'm keen to take a look at the ruins in the northwest of here. The problem is I can't get in. There's a red door with a strange symbol in the way. According to this book, it's open with something called the magic key. What's that? Where you can find the key? How should I know? I need you to tell me where to find the magic key. So many red doors to open. Ooh, smithing with steel. I learned how to make steel broadswords, store and seals, and steel shields. Nice. Steel helmets. Finally, some good recipes. Oh, I'm going to be doing some crafting here soon. My husband and I came on a holiday together, but the minute we got here, he goes off on his own. Makes me wonder why he married me in the first place. I knew I should have put my foot down and insisted we go to Octagania to see the mass martial arts tournament. I was half hoping to put on a mask and give him a beating myself. The closest town is many miles away. I suggest you rest at the inn here and say a few prayers before continuing your journey. Rectifications in yellow for some reason. Now she wants to commit spousal abuse. You should divorce her. What is this? Undo skill points so they can put. Oh, I know what that is, but I don't need to use it just yet. I might be using it soon for Salvado. Let me just double check our points here. Eric should definitely be able to do something new in the awesome world of boomerangs. That's what I've been looking for, the Toomerang. Toomerang stuff. It allows me to do a brutal attack with a pair of boomerangs that can deal damage to all enemies. Sign a brother up. Toomerang is unlocked. Very excited for that skill. I was showing a lot of two-dimensional earlier this morning. I'm kind of two-dimensioned out. It's got this very frustrating thing of throwing you back, not to the beginning of the chapter when you're done with it, but to the end of the previous chapter, which can actually be further behind. And yeah, it's really easy to lose a lot of progress. What do we have here? Heavy wands, heavy wands. It's her tree. She's got like a really small tree here. Maximum magic points when wielding. Staff of Salvation. Let you heal somebody. That might be good just to have a backup healer. Ring of Ruin. Summons a sigil that increases all party members of inflicting critical strike chance. I don't know which one I want more. We'll do this one. She's got 7. Sylvando has 13. He could probably learn something new. Metal Slash or Dragon Slash. Do a metal. Metal. We'll do metal. Hey, Moogle, how are you doing? Toomerang. No, it's not Toomerang. I bought a cartridge of this one, Cappy. This is my Switch cartridge. It's interesting. I will get Monster. I got Monster Hunter Rise digitally, so I could just kind of fart off and do, as Chaos likes to say, it's one of those endless games. So Monster Hunter Rise, Hyrule Warriors, those are games I get digitally, so I can just play them right off my Switch whenever I want. But when it comes to RPGs, generally I play them for a month or two, you know, get done with them, and then I'm done and I put them on the shelf, so I don't need them taking up space on the cartridge, on the memory card. Did you know, traveler, these fields were once a part of the Great Kingdom, Zordrest they called it, in its heyday. Its grandeur equaled that of Heliodor or Gallipolis. That is until one night, when an enormous swarm of monsters razed the entire nation to the ground. Now all that remains is ruins. Its former glory is but a distant memory. But some remnants yet linger. The souls of those who were slain on that fateful night are still bound to these ruins by the weight of their grief. Twisted by their fury at the monsters who destroyed their homeland and by the frustration at being unable to protect it, they have become monsters themselves, dead noughts. When the night falls, they rise from the graves and prowl the ruins of Swordrest. To atone their failure and to assuage their wrath, they attack any whom they encounter on sight. Traveler! Those fiends were once my kinfolk. I cannot bear to see them suffer so. Will you end their torment and allow them to rest in peace at last? Priest wants you to deliver some nearby dead knots who are still haunted by the destruction of homeland to bring peace long last. Thank you, my friend. My research into the art of exorcism had led me to believe that my former countrymen will only find peace if they're purified by, oh, not a pep power. The care prayer. The care prayer! Oh my gosh, it's the care prayer. Oh my gosh, I have to do this, guys. I have to do this. You know I have to do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have to do it. Have to do it. Have to. Just gonna have to do it. Nope. Nope. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Bears count down. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
It's the care prayer.
Moving fast and bright as a firefly.
It's the care prayer.
Just when you think the trouble's gone out pounce, who's gonna be there when it really counts? Do that care
Do it, Moncappy. Do the care prayer countdown. Are you doing it? Chaos, Moogle, everybody? Care prayer countdown. You're not, I'm the only one doing the care prayer countdown right now.
Don't be afraid when clouds are brewing in your heart. If you can dream, just send a wish out in the dark and do that Care Bears countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grew up in the 80s. You got to listen to all the theme songs over and over and over and over again. And I can't remember most of my childhood. I don't remember my teachers' names. I don't remember, what my school looked like. I don't remember any of that. But I remember the words to just about every 1980s cartoon that was broadcast into my neighborhood, including the Care Bear countdown. The Care Prayer. That was totally the Care Prayer countdown. So, okay. Don't say we never have fun here on the RP Gamer Experience. I see you have the best girl on display. I don't know. So the story here, Moncappy, is it was really hard to make to pull characters like when you see I do it in Final Fantasy 14 and stuff, and to have those characters to put in my overlay. They need to be like nice quality, transparent background pictures. She's the only one I could find. Oh, sorry, she's on this side. She is the only one I could find. She's the only one. It's the only one I could find. The other ones that you see on my others were ones that I had to finagle, which takes me time, significant time. Back, here we go. Jade is the only one who deserves to be there. I haven't met her yet. I don't know. Right now I've got the short girl, I've got the tall girl, and I've got the guy who sometimes acts like, so that's my options right now. And Chaos says it's lies. I can't believe. Say a care prayer. All right, so this is another one of those pep attack quest, which I love doing side quests. In this game, I want to do all the side quests, but this is one of the few RPGs I think where I'm like, yeah, let's do side quests because I'm enjoying the game. However, in this game, those pep attacks, to do those team pep attacks is a little difficult until I can switch out more party members and save up their pep attack. So with only 5 party members, I can only bench 1 at a time. If I take a look, I think it's under their attributes. Pep attack, pep attack, pep attack. Okay, what about it's Serena. She's gonna be the caster lady here. Pep power, care prayer. Oh, she just has to be pepped up with Phil. Getting 2 carers to pep is a little bit easier than getting 1. So that's not usually a big whoop. I could probably do that. I could probably do that right now. It would take some time though, and I don't want to stop right now. I'll come back to this. Childhood friends. Colin Gemma trashed here. She would have stayed home. Who is Gemma? Who is Gemma from Gemma? Oh, the childhood friend Gemma. I already forgot. Just you'd think it would seem like yesterday to start this game this weekend. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Comb through the world for clues as to the rain bow's whereabouts. Well, I'm supposed to be heading towards. Supposed to be heading towards. I think towards. Well, we'll see. Towards the north. Jump on the horse here. Head towards the north. Remembering names is for Wikipedia. I think I was getting mixed up for a minute with the lady from who's the one from Marvel Ultimate Alliance and the Guardians of the Galaxy, the green-skinned woman, Gamma or something like that, or am I mixing that name up too? Well, for once, there's not a checkpoint with a guard there saying, well, if you want to get over here, you're going to need to, All right, Drinzendale region. Ruins of Drinzendale. All right, the sword... Oh, well, I'm coming from the sword rust. An Octagonian. Let me see what my party members say, right? Isn't there supposed to be like a party chat here? Get off the horse. Get off the horse. Party chat. Party talk.
Perhaps.
Okay, you are very unhelpful right now, Sylvando. There's a big city to the north of Drinzendale. There's a big city to... Could you tell me the name? There's lots of cities.
Talk to me.
Walking a bit slower. Only got these little kitty legs. Well, we're all on a horse through magic. Okay, none of you are actually telling me where to go next. City to the north of Drinzendale. There's the ruins of Drinzendale. And this is the Drinzendale region. So if it's to the north, I guess that it means Octagara. Let's go to Octagara. I think that's what it means. Octamahuki. Alright, have a good trip home, Moncappy. For those of you watching video on demand, if you're wondering when can you catch the streams, I'm usually Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 Eastern or earlier. You can hit us up on twitch.tv/rpgamer and follow. And that'll make it easy for you to keep up when the streams are starting. You can also follow me on Twitter there at JCServant, all over the screen. And you can always hit us up on Discord. I think I said that already. Coming through. Ooh, fancy. Got big old swords at the top and everything. And a bunch of warrior rabbits in the courtyard. Oh! Press A or B when you want to give the foes a thrashing all the faster. I remember all the characters in the game. Hero, Eric, Veronica, Serena. Redacted, redacted, redacted. Oh, this looks pretty.
Ah, Octagonia. Home of muscular brutes beating the bejesus out of each other. I've always wanted to visit.
Yeah.
Oh, great. They're fans of Hendrik, huh? I hate this place already.
Hey there, handsome. Y'all here to take part in the tournament? You sure oughta. The masked martial arts meet is where all the biggest fighters make their names.
She said that like a true Southerner's. Names has
What's
like
it
2
say?
syllables.
Show the world what you've got in the greatest fighting contest anywhere in Erdria. Awesome prizes available.
A tournament, eh? I thought she was going to invite you to a boring old dance or something. I wonder what the masks are for.
What's that at the bottom? All bouts to be held in the rooftop arena. I suppose that must be on top of the big building over there.
That's insane. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the characters I played today. This is where the world's best fighters come to duke it out. Aw, shucks, I've already given you the spiel, haven't I? So you're going to join the fight and fun? If you are, you better mosey on over to the registration counter and get your name down. It's right over there under the statue of Sir Hendrik. I mean, I could, but I don't sort of wanna. Because, oh, well, it's going to suck me in whether I want to or not.
Hey, look!
Oh,
It's the rainbow! It's got to be!
I was beginning to wonder what this had to do with my quest.
The merchant who bought it from the Sultan of Gallopolis must have sold it to the tournament organizers.
Now I've got a reason to be here.
Does this mean we're going to have to enter the tournament?
Nope. It means we're gonna have to win it.
Like how she says that, nope, we're not just entering it, we have to win it. Boop boop. Let's see here. Attack 92, defense 77. Attack 92, defense 55. Or attack 88, defense 70. Might have to build some items here. New crafting! Focus is increased. Yay! Alright, steel broadsword. Store in steel boomerang. Need more silver ore and big bones. Need more silver ore. Everything requires silver. No! All this cool stuff and I can't make it. A blessed band that can be used to restore a little bit of lost magic points. Well, I don't like you, Pot. There's not a weapon shop here, so hopefully my current defense and everything is good enough. So yeah, I've already, what, 17 hours now into this game, Chaos? Yeah, I definitely get the feeling I'm not beating it in 30 to 40. It's a golden sphere. That will be the second prize in the MMA tournament. It's giving off a lovely glow. Hey there, welcome to Artagonia. I guess they're all Southern accent here. If you want to throw your hat into the ring and take part in the MMA tournament, you'll come to the right place. This is the registration desk. The rules are simple. Each fight is between two pairs of fighters, and everyone has to wear a mask. Fighters are paired off at random. And that's what makes it fun, the luck of the draw. It's what keeps folks coming back year after year. This time around, we got a special prize indeed, and the best one of all is the rainbow. You won't believe the lengths Mayor went through to get a hold of this thing. Now, y'all look like you got some fight in you. So how about you want to give the MMA tournament a try? That's what I like to hear. Alrighty then, here's your mask and your number for your partner draw. Good luck. The partner will be starting soon. The elevator behind me will take you right up there. Giddy up, partner. Oh, I feel like there's not an elevator. Oh, is it over here? Right, let's go. Let's get it. Giddy up. Give him up. Yeah, no, MMA, right? I have to say, so far, you know, I think so far, none of the characters really super jive with me. I mean, Eric is kind of down to earth and he's likable, but there's also nothing that really makes him, I don't know, he doesn't really stick out as a super interesting character. So I don't have anything inherently against Eric, I just don't have any reason to super like him. Serena is really super quiet and mousy and stuff, and Veronica's on the other end of the spectrum. She's too condescending and stuff all the time, so not a big fan of her. Savano's pretty funny to have in the group. I kind of like him. I think out of the four, I like he's got the edge. He's got the edge so far in just having a fun person in the group. You never know what he's gonna say next. He's serious and yeah, he's joking all the time, but he's not I don't think he's my favorite RPG character by far. But out of the four,
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's everyone's favorite season of the year, fighting season! Let's throw open the big book of brawling legends and get ready to write in some new names. The Masked Martial Arts Tournament starts here. Now, before our fighters get down and dirty, it's time to find out who'll be paired with who. Let's hope everyone gets the partner they deserve.
not the partner they want, but the one they deserve.
Balls from this box right here and call out the numbers. Each pair of numbers forms a team. Fighters will be counting on you to make the most of whoever you're matched with. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Alrighty, let's get started. And
Yeah.
the first number is 11.
Well, that's convenient. We don't have
Fighter
to wait
number
too long.
11, step right up. All right, now time to find out who'll be fighting beside you. Let's see. Who will it be? 8. It's fighter number 8. Number 8, make your way up to the stage.
Oh. Well, there you go. Speaking of the devil.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Hold on a wee second there.
Oh, it's him too. Tornico.
I'm not putting this young lassie's fate in the hands of a ballyhoo like you and your box of balls.
Oh, he's got an opinion.
But sir, it's the rules. I mean, allow me to check that with the official adjudicator.
Yeah, I wonder what he said to him.
My mistake, fighters. Seems this gentleman here has a special arrangement.
Ah!
Number 11 gets another pick of the partner pot.
Oi, what's the big idea?
Yeah. That's not gonna make people happy.
Fair, will ya?
Come on now, folks. Be reasonable. The official adjudicator has spoken.
I like the priest lady in the back. She looks like a
Why
superhero.
don't we see who number 11 will be fighting beside? It's number 7! Fighter number 7, come on down!
Looks like I'm up.
Oh boy. Oh.
Vince got picked already.
Ah!
Well, how
Oh.
about that?
Oh, Vince
Number 11's
Vanquish.
new partner is
7-11.
last year's
I
champion,
love it.
Octagonia's favorite son, Vince Vanquish!
Yay.
Hey man, good to meet you. Let's break some heads.
I like this guy. I'll take him. And eventually all of the... Okay, so... Yeah, I get surprised that guy didn't get right on his hands when he decided to change the rules halfway through. I'm waiting on another green girl. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her personality's like. I just know, like, the sisters are okay. It's just one's way too pushy and the other one's not pushy enough, right? Oh, the little one especially. She's like a little bit. Well, listen to me. I'm 5. I'm really 50 years old, but I'm in a 5-year-old. It's fine. It's fine.
That's it, folks. Our teams have been decided. Now all that remains is to wait for the action to begin. Let's wish the best of luck to all our fighters!
Woo, I'm excited. That's why we're gonna do the big boss screen here. Let's do it. Let's crack some heads. The waiting room. Well, there's an inn key or a bed here you can sleep in, it looks like, but I had the foresight to do that ahead of time. The crowd is all dead because the other fighters got upset. How did the draw go? By looking at your face, I say you got yourself a pretty good partner, huh? It'll be a little while before ready to open and fight. Why don't you head in and rest up while you wait? Won't cost you a dime. Alright, so I guess I have to rest? Whether I want to or not? Okay, fair enough. Boom, boom. Ah, it's funny. I slept and they're still not ready for me. So maybe I should go down first. I love this stair sound. See, that's another chaos. That's another old school sound when you go down the stairs and went chuk 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 chuk.
I heard that you've been paired with last year's champion. Lucky old you. Not that you even need a partner. I was just saying to Veronica, they should change the rules so you can compete on your own. Wasn't I, Veronica? Veronica?
I think...
Where's she gone? She was here a moment ago.
I think I like walking down the stairs. I think I like the characters in Dragon Quest VIII a little bit more so far. I feel like they had a little bit more character.
What's all that
That might be a hot
commotion
take.
outside?
Why don't you learn to look where you're going?
Me look where I'm going. You're the one strolling around with your nose in the air, you snooty little midget.
Nah.
What? That's ridiculous. You walked right into me, you big lump. Didn't your mother ever teach you to say sorry?
Cool. You really don't know when to shut up, do ya? This is all I need after me bleeding, stinking luck in that bleeding, stinking drawer.
Don't take it out on the kid, Underdigger. We all have our bad days.
Who said that? Come here and I'll...
Yeah.
Champ.
I get it. You didn't get the draw you wanted. But you gotta roll with the punches, man. I mean, you're a tough guy. What does it matter who you partner with, right?
Well, since you put it like that, champ. Sorry, Squirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev, is
Yeah.
that you, mate?
Veronica,
Underdigger.
are you all right?
It's super
Hey
cute.
there, partner. You know this little lady? I guess all's well that ends well, huh? Glad I could help out. All right, gotta bounce. I got kids to feed, then I'm hitting the sack. We ain't gonna win tomorrow if we don't rest up. You take it easy too, you hear? I'll come get you bright and early.
Adventure around town's gone up a couple of notches when the fight's about to start. It's fun to talk to locals and watch them all get worked up. Hey, but you're gonna be fighting them, alright? You should get some rest, man. You know the inn lets you stay for free. You should totally take advantage of that. Well, you know what? I tried to... Whatever. I hate you people. Maybe if I sleep in this, then you'll let the day pass. Maybe if I rest a few more... Oh, I probably should have saved it, the priest.
Rise and shine, partner. Time to hit the arena.
Can I save first just to be on the... I guess not. Probably not a thing. Oh, there we go. See the priest? The priest's downstairs. Oh, he can. Oh my gosh, it's the big bully priest. Do doom boom boom boom. Doop 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 doop. System settings, battle mode, game controls, audio, voice, autoplay. All right. You want to ride the elevator back down to the lobby? Sure thing. One moment. Going down? No, actually I want to go back up to the... Oh, wait. I kind of did that too quick. Want to go up. Up to the arena. What do I have to do to go up to the arena? Oh, I get it. You don't go up the elevator to the arena, you just walk over there. Oh, hey, partner, let's go smash some heads. Let's do it. Ready for a big old fight. Yeah, woo! Yeah, woo, 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 yeah, woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. It's time for our first bout!
I remember Dragon Quest IV with, oh, what's her name? Gosh, now speaking of names, I can't remember her name.
Boy, is it a big one.
Starts with an A, I think.
Vince Vanquish and his mysterious new partner take on the Underdigger and the Abominable Showman. Teams, enter the arena.
The Abominable Snowman. Oh, it's him. It's the one that looks like Blanca with the tongue.
Huh. We meet again, Underdigger.
I love
Gotta
it.
Stop bumping into each other like this.
Oh, give me a break, will you? Up against a champ in the first round? I must have the worst bleeding stinking luck in the whole bleeding stinking world. Right, you, here's the plan. We wallop the kid first, then we move on to Vince, alright? That way, we might actually stand a chance of getting out of here alive.
Sure thing. We're gonna win this easy, and then all the girls are gonna be swooning over me. You'll see.
Oh. Oh, it's like he's in my ear.
All right, teams, I want a nice clean bout. On my word.
Is he even wearing a mask?
Here it comes.
I guess he is. Old Dragon Quest music.
Eyes open.
These punks pack one heck of a pep power. I feel like a lot of people got a lot of turns there. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. You always see the earlier games where they would create doppelgangers of themselves, but you wouldn't actually see any doppelgangers. Ah! Bums away. Oh my. Oh my. Mama told me there'll be fights like this. Getting the feeling that going after Underdigger would probably be the best bet. Because I don't have doppelgangers to deal with. Oh, he's finally run out of MP, okay. Yeah. I feel like with him on the team, we're not actually going to ever lose. Those doppelgangers hurt just as much as the real thing, almost.
in the game.
Boop. Oh! Oh, that was not nice. That was painful. I feel like my buddy next to me doesn't know how to focus on a target.
We did it, partner.
Did we do it? I think we did.
That's it! It's all over! Vince has done it again!
Yay!
Nice job, partner. You're tougher than you look.
Hmm?
Sounds like the next fight started already.
Would you look at the kid go? She's incredible!
Is the old grandpa doing anything there? Oh, it's Eric. Oh, Eric's getting his butt kicked.
Who is this girl? I can barely keep up. And what's with the old guy? He's just standing there.
You do make it ever so easy.
You're done, kid. Fight's over! Rab and Jade are the winners!
Heavens be praised. How are we supposed to compete with that?
Admit it, Vince. Even you're impressed.
Yeah, she ain't bad.
Vince is frowning a little there.
All right, folks. Here are the teams who'll be fighting it out for your pleasure in the final bouts.
Oh, we're skipping the semifinals and the quarterfinals?
Will Vince and his new sidekick prove invincible and take the title again?
Oh, groan. Groan.
Or will Rab and Jade continue their incredible run and pip the champ at the post?
Pip?
It's all still to play for. Come back tomorrow when the action continues. You won't want to miss it!
Yes, a mask. Yeah, Eric was so well
I
disguised.
lucked out getting you as my partner. We're in with the chance, you and me. Anyway, I better go. The kids will be waiting for me back at the orphanage.
The arena and the dress. We're getting ready for the next fight right now. Sorry, pal. The arena and the dressing room are off limits. Okay. Oh, am I downstairs already? Ah, convenient.
wipes the floor with you. You should be ashamed of yourself going out in the first round.
Someone's gonna pull the whole "we will hurt your kids if you don't throw out the fight" card. I know, right? That's pretty
Look,
cliche.
I did the best I could, okay? But she's not normal.
Are you sure you weren't just love-struck? You looked a bit weak at the knees to me. And what with her flashing her legs around like that, well...
Veronica! It's them!
Huh?
Excuse me, lassie. Would you mind standing aside?
Oh, he's got a Scottish accent. He's an automatic in for the party.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
Wow, she
Shall
said
we?
sorry.
I'd keep a close eye on your partner if I were you.
Keep an eye on Vince. What does she mean by that?
You don't think it could be anything to do with the missing people we heard about, do you? Didn't someone say that they were all competitors in the tournaments they have here? Could Vince be in danger?
Missing people? That's the first I've heard of it. Doesn't sound good, though. Maybe you should go check on Vince. Don't want your partner disappearing before the big day.
I'm awfully shocked to hear about all the fighters who've been disappearing. I do hope Vince will be alright. You must be tired after the fight, but I think you should pay a visit to the orphanage just to make sure nothing untoward has happened to him. You need to go down the stairs to the east and then head west. You should be careful as well. Didn't even realize there was a lower level to this place. Well, ask around a bit, see if we can find any more about these disappearances. Actually, Vince might be a target too. Maybe he needs someone suspicious. I think you better check on him. Catch you later, man. Hey, you're the kid who got put with the champ. Everyone's talking about you. They can't wait for your next fight. Oh, you're looking for Vince? He probably headed up to the orphanage.
Oh, it's you. Man, I thought you were some creep sneaking up on me. Sorry, it's just... I keep hearing about fighters going missing. Kinda puts a guy on edge, you know? Didn't mean to scare you, partner. Seeing as you're here, why don't you come inside?
Hey, look! Uncle Vince is back!
You kids were good while I was gone, right?
Uh-huh.
Is this a friend of yours, Uncle Vince?
Yup. A very important one. So you play quietly while he's here, okay?
Oh, beat you there! Beat you there!
Catch me!
I was born and raised in this orphanage, man. That's actually why I fight. Wanted to raise some money, give a little something back, you know? Trouble is, fighting's all I'm good at. If I stop winning, these kids stop eating. Won't be a problem this year, though. You and me, we're going all the way. Good to have you along for the ride, partner.
Vince talks on and on for hours while Phil struggles to get a word in edgewise.
Man, look at the time. Sorry, once I start gabbing, I kind of find it hard to stop. Wait, was there something you wanted to talk about? I mean, I'm guessing that's why you came to Huh. Hey, did you hear that? It came from my room. There it is again. There's somebody up there.
Well, don't just stand there, hero. Come on, it's critical music, man. Gotta get the lead out. Get the lead out. Oh, freaking hell, which one's his room? My goodness gracious, just step closer to him. Up here? Vince, is this your room? That would be a big negator. Well, what about this one with the kid in front of it?
Man, some punks tossed my room. What kind of lowdown, dirty thief burglarizes an orphanage anyhow? And what were they looking for? Just you creeps wait! Listen, we got a fight to think about. It's late. You should stay here tonight. You down with that?
Guess so.
Go get some shut-eye. I'll wake you when it's time to hit the arena.
Like my own personal bodyguard alarm clock.
Up and at 'em, partner. It's fighting time.
It's fighting time. Fighting time.
That's the spirit. We got a fight to get to.
Good. Yippee. Let's go ahead and shave. Dun dun. Boom, 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 boom. Hey there, partner. It's fighting time. You all set? That's what I like to hear. Let's do this, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some more masked
martial arts.
action?
Instead of mixed. That's too funny.
Our first fight of the day features the favorites for the title. It's the Invincibles, starring none other than reigning champion Vince Vanquish. They'll be facing off against hometown hotties Cinderella and Wambolina, aka the BT Queens.
I thought we had to fight off against the other ones. I thought it was the finals.
I'm Cinderella.
Oh my.
And I'm Wambolina.
Oh. No, please, no. Oh.
Seems the girls have brought their fan club along. Well, get ready to cheer your hearts out, folks. Something tells me this is going to be about to remember. Fighters, get ready to go to war.
Don't let the pretty act fool you. They made it this far. That means they can fight.
On your marks. Get set. Fight!
Oh boy.
Let's get physical.
I don't
Oh yeah.
don't know about the one on the no, there's something wrong here.
Let's roll.
All right, let's do this. Let's do sword stance. Ouch. Ouch. Wow. That could take me out in one round with the crit. Don't know if I'm supposed to do anything other than heal.
Time to heat things up.
Oh, hey. A round where I don't have to heal.
Mid-heal.
Oh, she's a freaking healer.
Think you can handle me now? You want some of this? Take it.
Oh, well, at least he blocked their pet power with a parry, so that was helpful. Unfortunately, our pal over there's enthralled, so that can't be good. Try getting to her.
Let's turn up the heat. Feel the burn.
You think him being lit on fire would take him out of that enthralled state?
This ought to help.
Someone's running out of magic points.
Blast off!
Ouch.
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn. I wonder if it's possible for Vince to actually get KO'd for hit point loss. The Beady Queens are defeated.
That's it. It's all over. The Invincibles have done it again.
Like a hero just stands there. I hate silent protagonists. They're just so void of personality.
All right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're into the semifinals.
So those were just the
And here come our
quarterfinals?
first challengers.
Oh boy.
Give 'em a big hand now. It's the Invincibles.
Do I get to rest? Recharge? Phone a friend?
They'll be taking on a pair of dashing dark horses who surprised us all with their flair for ferocity. It's Golden Boy and Sterling Silva, a.k.a. the Bullion Boys!
The Bullion Boys?
Yoo-hoo! Look out below!
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness gracious, of course.
So, we meet at last, foul villain. I had hoped you would
would survive long enough to suffer at my hands.
Of course. He's awesome.
Back and let the great I mean, the magnificent Sterling Silva show you which of us is the better once and for all.
So you guys know each other?
I don't know him.
Know each other? None can know the true identity of Sterling Silva and live. Nor that of his faithful sidekick, Golden Boy. The Bullion Boys' real names will go with them to their graves.
Oh, jeez. This guy's a class
These
act.
guys sure know how to put on a show.
Know this, fiends. We will not be holding back. Our onslaught will be merciless and swift.
This is too much.
Likewise.
And downs the contents in a single gulp.
Just my little pre-fight ritual. All right, let's do this.
Looks like our fighters are ready to rumble, folks. All right, on my word. Fight!
Nobody beats the Bullion Boys.
The Bullion Boys. That's too funny.
This will not be easy. Let the rain of pain.
Ouch.
Fiends, you have met your match.
He is funny. He is so funny. Ouch! Performance enhancing drugs on stage. I'm sure it's just a healing potion cast. They're very popular in these fantasy settings. I put a defensive stance on. I still can't do anything but heal. Oh, there we go. There's a block. There we go.
Fiends, you have met your match. Blast off.
I'm a little worried at just how much damage he can do with Pep Up and whatever. See, if I defend, he's gonna go after the other guy. Oh, there we go. I just want to top off my health. I'm so worried he's gonna get a critical hit and just do massive amounts of damage. I never did learn Miracle Slash. Ouch. Yeah. He made one hell of an entrance. He always does.
That's enough. I'm calling this one. The Bullion Boys have been beaten!
Curses. The great Sterling Silva defeated. But I feel no shame in losing to one such as you. It was a battle of epic and legendary proportions, and I thank you for it.
He's the one on performance-enhancing drugs right there.
Darling.
There he goes.
He's got enhanced performance going on all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the showdown you've all been waiting for. The grand final of the Masked Martial Arts Tournament!
Okay. Back to it.
That's right. Just 2 teams remain. Invincibles, if you please. They're hot favorites, folks, but will our hometown hero be able to retain his crown? Or will surprise newcomers Rab and Jade snatch glory from the reigning champ? Will the princess and the pudding please take to the stage?
The princess and the pudding?
Yes, it's the girl who moves like lightning and
The old guy who doesn't move at all.
Will they be making history here today? It's time to find out.
Something about these two gives me the willies, but we got this.
Oh
Time
no.
for a little good luck boost.
Oh no. Little enhancement. He's got little enhancement. It's all good.
Did you see that?
I did.
Oh yeah! Let's do this. Let's win this thing.
All right, laddie. Show us what you've got.
This is it, folks. One last time now.
Show us what you've
Let's
got.
do this, shall we?
Oh yeah!
Blast off! Interesting.
All right, let's go.
Now he's giving me some of his performance enhancement juices. Oh no. Oh boy. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch again. Ah! He's fallen, he can't get up. I think I just keep attacking.
Darkness, hear me! I'm not done yet.
Harvest Moon. She's been playing RP. She's been playing farming simulations. Uh-oh. How does him being kicked in the groin not wake him up?
This ought to help.
Yeesh. When battle arenas have people with healing spells, they go on for a very long time. Oh, someone just ran out of magic points. Yeah, he can't feel anything after all those drugs he's taken, exactly. Ouch. Oh, man. If they hit the... Hero's dead. Hero's dead. Now what? There's nothing I could do really right there. We got a rematch. We got a rematch. Well, there's not... The only thing I could do to enhance my chances would be to buy some new armor. I guess I could... But there's no armor shop here. I guess I could escape out. Yeah, it's definitely... I'm just going to brute force through it. I mean, there's some RNG involved, obviously, as far as when she pulls off that move. But yeah, she got hyped up. First of all, it's kind of great because they pep up at the same time all the time, right? When they pep up at the same time, and then she's... And that does a ton of damage. So yeah, it's a little bit rigged there. You got a rematch after losing. Well, the game really wants you to win, but apparently it doesn't want to just outright hand you the victory. The frustrating thing here is I really don't want to do this again. Like, come on, just get to the point.
Darkness, hear me!
I do 15 points of damage. He's doing a combined total of like 80 points of damage. Lovely.
Let the darkness consume you!
Now see, that time she did the attack, but most of it went to him and not me, so I didn't take that much damage on that go around. I like healing every round. It's what I do. Can't allow myself to be like under near full hit points with the way she can combo and go enraged and combo on you. I wish when I went enraged I was nearly that cool. Oh, that parry move doesn't last very long. Nice! Oh, there we go. Alright. Should be going down kinda soon. Oh, nice attack there. Still. Can't be too safe. There we go.
Look out!
That mark.
Champ's having a hard time with the little old man.
What in the It can't be.
Caught you napping, old man.
Oh. Yeah.
You too? What's with everybody all of a sudden? Not that I'm complaining. You're up, partner.
Yeah. All's fair in arena fights.
We have a winner! Vince Vanquish has done it again!
Thanks to his performance-enhancing drugs.
The Invincibles take the final! And what a final it was! Stick around for the award ceremony, folks!
We did it, man. We won. It wasn't easy, though, huh?
Macho Man,
That was the
yeah.
toughest tournament yet. Thanks for seeing it through with me, partner. Hey, the grand prize is something called the Rainbow. Word is, it's worth a bunch of dough. How about we sell it and split the...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh-oh. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, you didn't, Chaos. You mentioned Macho Man, who had a heart attack from being on too much steroids. You killed him, Chaos. Say no to drugs, kids. Hey, congratulations. That was some incredible stuff out there. Shit about what happened to Vince, though. Still, they're saying he won't be out of action too long. Guess all the years of fighting finally caught up with him. Anyways, they're postponing the awards ceremony till he's better. Looks like he'll be sticking around a little longer, champ. The tournament committee's arranged some free accommodations for you if they want you to rest up a while. Say no to drugs. Just do it. Don't do drugs is what happens. Don't just no. I followed a lot of wrestling my day, and so many of those guys.
It's me.
Oof.
I need a wee word with you. Can I come in?
A wee word with you. He's an instant win because of the accent. Absolutely, buddy. That's
Just
what
you in here, eh, laddie? I was hoping to speak to your pals too. Could you ask them to join us? It's Jade. The lass here was fighting with in the tournament. She's missing. I've looked all over town, but she's nowhere to be found. I can't help but worry she's got herself caught up in something. Will ye help an old man look for his wee friend? You're a star.
Wee
With
friend? There's
yourself and
nothing
your
wee about
pals here
her.
to help, I'm sure we'll find her in no time.
Nothing wee about her.
The last place anyone saw her was over by the orphanage. Let's start there, shall we?
Aye. Let's take a wee walk over to the orphanage. And talk to the wee ones. And maybe we'll find out a wee bits of information. Oh, there is an armor shop here. Oh well, too late. It was all downstairs. This is bad, Master Phil. This is real bad. Uncle Vince ain't here. He meant to be sleeping, but he's gone. And something super weird's happening in the garden downstairs, too. Uncle Vince is gone. He's supposed to be in bed, but he ain't there. What if he ain't coming back? What'll happen to us then? Well, it's going to be a wee problem, laddie and lasses. We're going to have to sell you to a slave farm. You're going to be working for the rest of your wee lives. Mr. Phil, you've got to listen. When we realized Uncle Vince was missing, we searched the orphanage high and low, but all we found was this. It's a staircase leading underground. None of us has seen it before. Do you think he might gone down there? Where do you think it leads? Well, that is a wee mystery, isn't it, lad? See, the jokes here, this just never ends. Let's say we take a wee trip down there. See if we got caught up in something. Oh. Oh, goodness. Search by... Okay. Well. We're going to get into a dungeon here. Alrighty. Let me check out the party here. Miscellaneous lineup. Okay, still got Silvano in there, Silvando in there. We're just gonna keep him in there for a while until he catches up. I don't know if this thing gives experience to people on the bench or not. I guess that's a good question to ask. Yeah, suddenly the others are with you there. Not even a little bit of a cutscene or anything. Just kind of like, oh, okay, just right there. Usually they transition a little bit smoother than that. They force you to go back, talk to your party members, whatever. Let me just double check. Do bench party members get XP? They do earn XP while benched. Okay. Well, didn't really want them to earn, actually in this case, but whatevs. Oh, well, let's see if he gets up to 18 there. There's a shiny. Gotta have the shiny. A tangle web. A group of Dracolites up. It is not. See right there, that was over what, 27, 54. That was about 70 points of damage right there. Holy smoly, that was 150 points of damage. Holy cow. Wow, I don't know if they're weak against fire or she... Oh, she's pumped up, that's why. I wondered if I shouldn't make a witty trip by the priest and save. So, if you're watching video on demand, I'm going to cut the video here for a bit while I get the party geared up and work my way mostly through that dungeon. And we'll be back later. Welcome back for those people watching video on demand. We are spent probably a good, this is the entire dungeon map, and probably spent a good 40 minutes almost just kind of exploring this, doing some battles along the way. Oh, and upgrading the gear at the shop. Okay, getting over glasses, that's always good. Let's go ahead and take a look in here and see what we can see. Whoop! Whoop! Oh! Oh, hells no! No, 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 no!
Hey! Brought you a fresh one!
Vince! Vince, say it isn't so, Vince! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, say it isn't so, Vince. Vince, oh no. No, Vince, no. No. Holy cow.
She's perfect. Just
Vince.
perfect. A warrior maiden of great skill. I smell it on her skin.
Vince, what were you thinking?
We must drain her of her essence while she is still fresh. Quickly, give her to me.
Wow, Moogle, this isn't just a spider. You're right, this is something from your nightmares.
Got it.
I won't be needing you to carry me any further, thanks. So this is who's behind it all.
Wow,
So
Vince.
Hendrik must have missed one when he cleared the monsters out of town all those years ago.
Wow.
Nicely done, lassie. I hope you'll forgive me, but we had a wee rummage around in your room, Vince. The liquid I found. That's what you drink before your fights, isn't it? But your friend here squeezes
Oh.
the fighters he kidnapped.
Oh. Vince! Oh, the betrayal! You're drinking people juice! Oh!
That was you?
Perhaps not all humans are as stupid as our muscle-bound friend here.
Oh!
That's right, old man.
Oh.
Hendrik scarred me, but he did not kill me. The extract. It was the only way to regain my strength. So I had Vince bring me the choicest morsel.
Vince, you are not getting a Christmas gift this year.
Why would he help me do such a thing, you ask? Because I offered to share the fruits of my labor. To give him strength beyond imagining.
Oh my gosh, Vince.
Who could
I'm defriending you.
refuse such a juicy offer?
Anybody with a soul? That Vince had clearly sold?
Couldn't keep on winning forever. And if I wasn't winning, I wasn't bringing in the money we
No.
needed for the orphanage.
Not accepting it, Vince.
Sorry, partner, but I can't let those kids down. Which means I
No.
can't let you and your friends leave.
No. No. The road to Hades is paved with good intentions, Vince.
Not now!
Okay, this is what we call iron events. Just gonna point that out.
Oh, will you look at yourself, laddie? Do you not see what that stuff's doing to you? That foul fluid wasn't meant for human consumption. It's eating you from the inside out. It's a miracle you're still alive.
It's called his guilty conscience. That's what's eating him.
Man. I guess cheaters never prosper, huh?
Spent at last, old friend. Such a shame. Then I suppose I'll have to deal with you myself.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go.
Keep that thing busy. I'll see if I can get those people down.
You won't escape.
It's time for a big boss battle. All right, boys and girls, let's do this. Did she just absorb magic from herself? Okay, that's kind of funny when you think about it. Doop, 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 doop. Effects of poison, paralysis, and fallen allies with 50%. I want to be Sylvando. Tell you what, you don't want to be Vince. Because Vince is a bad person. It's just, you really, really don't want to be Vince.
Stay strong, my loves.
He's too funny. He's too funny. Sylvando's just too much.
Perhaps this will help.
What are those spider missiles?
Surrender your soul.
Who do I have bench? Oh, the rogue. Did I sap him yet? He could just be a great cat. That should the next cat you get you should name Sylvando. Should totally do it. Oh, I have a deep magic debuffer. That's nice. There we go. Nice. Ooh. Well, this is not good at all. Holy crap, this has got real serious real fast. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Not good, not good.
Don't worry, darlings. Sylph's here.
Well, glad she's free. I was kind of worrying about a TPK right there.
Magic barrier!
Not sure if that's going to work against him, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see what we got for pet powers. Increases all allies' defense and magical mending by quite a bit. Let's do it. I think his re-heal's a pretty good spell.
Ronnie, darling.
It's like the Dragon Quest version of regen. Defuddle. It's decast Defuddle. That's cute. Fire, ice, and earth. She just doesn't do much damage on a physical attack. Oh, now people are hurt. Now people are webbed up. Yahoo! Brightly covered. Whips, let's try that. Ooh. Nothing for her and Sylvana if they're both pepped. Oh, that's a pity. Yeah, we definitely need to kill the spider, that's for sure. Oh! Oh no! The spider can become pepped up too? Ah, see, we're now the whole party's just incredibly hurt. End up spending more time healing, I swear.
Stay strong.
Can't wait till I get a group heal spell.
Don't worry, I'm here to help.
Wow, that's some healing. Ooh. Ooh, so much pain and hurt and suffering. Holy cow. He's just brutal. Now this is a tough boss. Yeah. Somebody in Dragon Quest Land heard me complain that the game was a little on the easy side. Holy sweet mercy.
Darkness,
I got through the boss of the bat on auto. Well, if you were spending a lot of time grinding up all your materials, you might have also been a much higher level. That AoE is just horrible, and it decreases your defense as well. And I don't have Kabuff, so I don't have a way to quickly raise everyone's defense back up.
leave it to me. Thank you.
She just tried to attack herself while she's confused. Veronica's almost dead. Serena's almost dead. But he's lost the power of Pep. I've never seen a boss before that could have the power of Pep. That's just rude. It's supposed to be a heroic ability, not a monster ability. He's gotta be almost dead. I'd like to think he's almost dead. I may have to re-evaluate trying to get either the hero or Eric, like, to be really good at single target damage for this boss fights, and see if that works like a two-handed weapon. If that works significantly better or not than one-handed weapon. Oh fudge, that was the wrong move. She calls for backup. Woo! All right, finally. Whew, that was a long fight. 3,000 experience. Ba-da-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
And don't come back.
I had no choice. A third-rate fighter like me? I was never gonna make enough dough to keep the place open.
No excuse,
So when
buddy.
I heard that voice, drifting up from down here, right beneath the orphanage, I listened. All I had to do was help him out, and he'd make me the toughest fighter around. Seemed like a pretty sweet deal.
He lied to you.
So I said sure. I wanted to win the tournament so bad. Needed that money so bad. I let him use me. I knew it was wrong. But that orphanage, man, that's where I was raised. Those kids are my family. I had to do it. I had to.
No, death and destruction for you, buddy. Sorry.
So you let your desire to help the bairns get the better of you? Well, there's certainly been greater evils done for less good. Tell you what, I'll have a word or two with the mayor. Don't worry, lad. We'll make sure the orphanage is looked after. So chin up, eh? Just don't let me catch you making deals with nasty beasts again. You hear?
Yeah. Like Scotty from the Enterprise.
Sir, I don't know what to say.
Having successfully solved the case of the missing fighters, Phil and his friends spend the night at the inn.
Wakey, wakey, little soldier.
Oh, jeez.
Come on now, time to get up.
Ugh.
I said wake up!
Phil Silvano.
Morning, darling.
That would be enough to get me out of bed real fast.
Hate to drag you out of bed, but we need to head up to the arena. That prize they never got around to giving you? Well, they want to hand it over. Let's get moving before they change their mind.
If you're looking for me, I'll be in the cheap seats. Don't forget to give me a wave.
He's funny. Gotta go to the registration desk first. Make up y'all's mind. Alright, Phil's time for the ceremony. Vince back on his feet, ready to go, and he's in the arena ready. Or he's waiting for you. I better take you up there right away.
All right, everybody, it's time to bring this year's Masked Martial Arts Tournament to a close. It's prize-giving time. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you our champions, the Invincibles!
Yes! Who cheated
To present the prize.
and used enhancement drugs.
Hold up! Hold up! Seems kind of a shame to have the good folks of Octagonia come out and support us and not give them a show to enjoy. Why don't we make this interesting? I challenge you to a fight for the prize, partner. Winner takes all!
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, The gauntlet has been thrown down! Now that's the stuff champions are made of!
No backing out now, unless you want to ride on your hands. Huh. Fooled you. I don't do that stuff no more. I fight clean or not at all. Now let's do this.
Yeah. Ruh-roh.
Let's do this thing. Oh yeah.
I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know if Sword Stance really... I'll just do a Flame Slash. It is. It is. It's exactly right, Cat Pianist. It's awesome. There's so many callbacks. There's even this one area you can go to. Now you have to find all the past words, but it takes you to past games, and you actually play in 2D mode. You play some snippets from the older games. Oh, 4 is the best. Yeah, 4 is awesome. Oh, he's missing on purpose. Yeah, no, this game is super, super, super good. Super good. Super good. Did you ever play, by the way, did you ever play Dragon Quest Heroes?
It's all over!
1 and 2?
The champ is down! We have a winner!
Vince looked kind of weak out there.
He sure did. What's gotten into him?
I needed people to see that. To see that I ain't nothing without that juice. I never had what it takes to be the champ. You deserve that prize, man. Thanks. You taught me what it means to be a fighter again. I won't forget this time.
We love you, Vince!
Thanks for putting it on the line for us every time!
Yeah, that's what you get with this game. With 11S, you get this the Tokyo Orchestra.
It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Rainbow is... This is bad. This is real bad.
Oh no, someone's stolen the rainbow.
It's the Rainbow. It's gone.
Totally called it.
And all there was instead was this. And this letter too. Looks like it's for you.
Come and meet me in Dundrasil. I've something to show you. Don't
Ah,
worry about the rainbow. It's safe with me.
That was his mask.
What a shocking twist to end our tale, ladies and gentlemen. The grand prize snatched from under our champion's nose by none other than Old Man Rab! Will our hero journey to Dundrasil to claim what's rightfully his? How will it all end? I, for one, can't wait to find out!
Yeah. Flap, 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 flap.
Dundrasil, huh? So it's back to where it all began.
Did you ever play Dragon Quest Heroes 1 or 2, Cat? And now we gotta go to Drundle, whatever. Go back to saying silly things. So it's a fighting kind of like Muso game, and it uses Dragon Quest characters from all the different games, especially 2. And just seeing the Dragon Quest 4 characters in 3D, like fully animated stuff, was so awesome. Even if you don't play it, if you just want to check out a YouTube video, it's just so cool. He says, "As we recorded, you plan to continue?" Yes. But it's made by the same people who make the Muso games, but they made this more like a what Koei Tecmo does is they take, is it Koei Tecmo? Whatever. What they do is they take elements of the franchise, in this case Dragon Quest, and blend it together with that Muso combat formula. So it's the only game where you're running around in the field and you're beating up tons of monsters with a party of 4 people rather than just 1 warrior. And you switch those heroes on the fly real quick as if they were in a big party together. It's really cool. So we need ruined runs to do whatever all the way down there. Right, that was a really cool idea until I noticed, oh yeah. Gonna have to get off the horse to get off of there. Get off the horse. Off the horse. No, off the horse. Off the horse. Can I even jump up there? Is that a thing? Jump. 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 Jump, 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 jump. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. Coming through. Ruins of Drumstills. Let's giddy up on the horse now. Coming through. Happy horses coming through.
Man.
So this is Dundrasil. I'd heard the rumors about what happened here, but still, I never expected this. To think that not so very long ago, this was one of the world's great cities, and that it was reduced to rubble in a single night. The king and queen murdered by monsters. The princess of Heliodor, too. The poor thing was only visiting. Oh, but I don't need to tell you this. They were your parents, after all.
So where's the old guy from the tournament, anyway? And why'd he drag us all the way out here?
Why? Why? Why?
Look, those torches are lit.
Oh, look at that. They are in fact lit. Oh, there's a big dragon there too. Tell you something, Serpy. This goes all the way to castle. You can ooze it to get to where the barrier thingies are. What does? This does? Or this does? Come on, off the horse. Is this something we can jump up? There's a pile of rubble blocking the stairs. Oh. This looks awfully conveniently laid out. Well, assuming you can get up to that first one. Huh. Why can't I pick that up? Push that around? No? Huh. This, oh, the well. The well goes all the way to the castle. I missed the critical word there, the word well. Everyone knows who's played Dragon Quest games that wells are a major thoroughway of transportation. It's totally a thing. Wells are also monsters. Not as bad as them dang nabbit treasure chest, man. Those canna boxes. Man, I remember, what was it, Dragon Quest 2 or 3 when I first bought a canna box? Killed my whole party. It's the most deadly treasure chest in the game. Most deadly monster in the game. Up to that, it was well more powerful than monsters I had fought up that far.
So you made it at last.
Is it just you? Where's your friend, the girl?
She has duties to attend to. She'll be glad you came, though, as am I.
It's not like we had much choice. Now, where's the rainbow? We need it.
Oh, you do you?
I don't like his attitude.
I suppose that's because your pal here's the luminary.
Wait. How could you...
He's got a stamp on his hand. Everyone knows.
I thought you died years back, laddie. When I saw that mark in your hand at the tournament, my heart skipped more than a few beats, let me tell you. Now, come along. There's something I want to show you, if you'll indulge an old man for a wee while.
He plays the old man car a lot. The stamp means he can get back into Disneyland. Now, the stamp means he's old enough to drink now.
Aye, this place brings back some memories, sure enough.
Look, are you going to tell us who you are or what?
I'd already given up most of my duties by then. I spent most of my days in the city enjoying my retirement. Oh, we had us some fun. And then the monsters came, and I lost everything. When I was your age, laddie, this was one of the finest cities you could ever hope to see. And look at it now. One night. That's all it took them to tear it all apart. Just listen to me blethering on. I was going to show you something, wasn't I?
Is this somebody's grave?
Aye. This is where the King and Queen of Dundrasil are buried.
You mean?
do. This is your parents' grave, laddie. The grave of my daughter and son-in-law.
Wait, but that would mean you're his grandfather.
These two fine young souls died, and I survived. I came to believe there must have been a reason for that. That someone had a purpose in mind for me.
Luke, I am your father.
So I set out to learn why Dundrasil was destroyed. I've been on the road ever since. I've uncovered some of the truth in my travels. It was King Carnelian, you see. He changed. He once believed in the power of the luminary more than any of us. But he became convinced that you were evil, that you were the Darkspawn. He's not a man I knew any longer. Folks say he blames you for everything, even the death of his daughter. How could you, old friend? There's something behind it all. The fall of Dundrasil, the change in my old comrade. I promise you, I will find out the truth. Eleanor, my girl, Erwin, I found your boy. He wasn't lost to us after all. You're alive, laddie. Against all the odds, and now you're home. You've no idea how many times I've dreamed of this day. I never thought it would actually come. Now, will you humour an old man a while longer?
I'm all
There's
choked
an
up.
old royal ritual, you see. It's to send the souls of the departed to a better place. I'd like you to help me perform it. There's an altar up on the hill behind the castle. I'll be waiting for you there.
Let's get to the altar. Let's just run like our lives depended on it. It's a bit of a jaunt here. I didn't want you to feel like that was too close to the town or anything.
Everything's ready.
Thank you, Princess. It looks just perfect.
Wait, you don't mean...
If the rest of you wouldn't mind standing back here with me, only members of the Dracilian royal family may perform the ritual.
How come he called you princess? Are you?
Quiet now. The ritual is about to begin.
You just follow my lead. All right, laddie? The souls of those who depart this life must all return to Yggdrasil. One life for each leaf of the great world tree. But those taken by monsters cannot return of their own accord. So our ancestors devised a ritual to send them on their way.
Makes perfect sense to me, Bob.
The smoke guides them back to where they belong. To Yggdrasil's bosom.
Bosom.
Each butterfly is a lost soul, and now they can all be at peace.
Cat.
You didn't die in vain, Eleanor. You saved your boy and the princess. It was a noble sacrifice you made. Thank you, my beautiful girl. And goodbye. I hope you don't mind me asking, but your mother didn't leave you anything, did she? Oh, no. She didn't, did she? So this letter's why you went to see King Carnelian, eh? If only she'd known. I'm sorry, laddie, you've been through so much. But I suppose if you'd not set out for Heliodor, the journey would never have led you to me, eh? Oh, Eleanor. I'm sorry, laddie. I'm gonna need to be alone for a wee while.
We'll just be over here eating nachos. Things would be a lot easier if we could just fly to Yggdrasil like these butterflies. Sorry, now's not time to be saying silly things like that, is it? I think I figured out who that girl is. It's kind of hard to believe, though. Good old Edgar, always the last one to figure things out. Wasn't the Queen brave rescuing the way she did? Veronica and I must learn from her example. After all, it's our job to protect you now. Oh, darling, that ceremony was just beautiful. Your parents are at peace now, I'm sure.
Lady Eleanor. Who's there? You weren't supposed to see that. I was just thinking about Lady Eleanor. I mean, your mother. Why don't we take a little walk?
If we must.
My mother was a rather sickly soul by all accounts. She died not long after I was born, so in a sense, Lady Eleanor was the only real mother I ever knew. She used to read me stories, take me flower picking. I loved her so much. You can imagine how happy I was when I heard she was having a baby. I couldn't wait to meet my little brother. You know, it was raining like this the last time I ever saw her. I can't believe how much time has passed since then.
What?
Wait,
Whoa.
up there.
What? Whoa. Well, these guys know more about us than we do.
Something tells me they're looking for you and your friends. And there's only one kingdom that can send that many soldiers out on a manhunt.
How come they always know where we're at?
Heliodor. Come on. We need to get back to the others.
I bet you Sylvando is a secret spy. Telling them everything.
Where are the ones from the altar? No sign of them.
That was because for the gas.
No sign of him either. Blast! They must have got away. It's him! He's over here! The Darkspawn is over here!
Oh, for goodness sake.
What shall we do with the girl? Sir Hendrik's orders were to bring the Darkspawn back alive. He never said anything about anyone foolish enough to side with him.
Just you try it.
Oh, she even does Matrix mode.
I can't be expected to take her on alone. Sir Hendrik! Sir Hendrik!
Come on. We'll head around the mountain and meet up with the others before he gets back.
Oh, somehow they passed us up? Seems most illogical.
I have you at last, Darkspawn. There is nowhere left to run. You are a slippery one, I will give you that. I had not thought you would make it this far after I picked up your scent in Octagonia. Men, the Darkspawn is mine. Deal with the girl. Forward!
Epic fight scene. Darkspawn, I am your father.
This is all the dreaded child of darkness could muster. Pathetic.
Oh, that's not good.
You will evade me no longer, Darkspawn. The chase ends here.
Hendrik! Don't you dare!
Oh boy. Well,
Princess Jade? Surely not.
it's the first time I've heard the luminary make a noise.
Princess!
I won't let you go again.
Yeah. We'll die together. How many falls into water way down below do we see in these games? Seems to be a common theme.
Oh, good. You're awake.
It must be a luminary thing. Yeah.
I'm soaked through. Let's get warmed up, shall we?
Ah. This cabin comes complete with handy binkies.
I'm glad I caught you. I couldn't have forgiven myself if it happened again. I suppose Rab must have told you about your mother, that she sacrificed herself to save you and a princess of Heliodor. Well, you've probably worked it out for yourself already, but I was that princess.
What?
Your mother saved my life.
Get out.
That night, the night Dundrasil fell, we ran from the castle, but the monsters were too fast. She handed you to me and distracted them for long enough for us to get away. She died to save us. But even though she trusted me with you, I was too weak and stupid to... I fell in the river and I let you go. I can't tell you how many times I've wished that it was you Rab fished out of there and not me. After he found me, we headed back to Heliodor. We thought my father might help us to find you. But when we got there, we found out he was telling people I'd been killed by the Luminary. He was trying to make people believe awful things about you. Rab was convinced that he wasn't in his right mind, that someone must be controlling him. So we set out together to find out who and why. I never expected to see Hendrik again, let alone on the battlefield. We were lucky to get out of there alive.
Busenheimer, I
The
can't
rain's dying
see.
down. We should head back to Dundrasil.
Really? Will the rest of the friends be there? Oh, there it is. I'll just make a little checkpoint there in case, you know, something unfortunate happens. Boom, boom, boom. Goodness, that's quite a bit of a walk. Oh, he can't make his horse thingy work right now. The horse is on vacation. Oh, boy, he never gives up.
So I was right. I had suspected it would take more than a mere fall to put pay to the Darkspawn.
Sir Hendrik.
Can it really have been so many years since that fateful night, Princess? To see you alive and well, you cannot imagine how much this pleases me. But should you choose to continue to side with the Child of Darkness, you may not live for much longer.
Look, I know how you feel about duty, Hendrik. How could I forget? You don't understand how important this is. Please, you have to let us go.
You would ask a sworn knight of Heliodor to disobey the orders of his king? You have been away from home too long, girl.
Not long enough for the years to have changed you. Still loyal to a fault. I wish it didn't have to come to this. But it has.
Well, dang.
Impressive, Princess. The spirited young girl of old has grown into quite the warrior maiden.
Oh, please. I'm not a child anymore. It'll take more than a pat on the head to distract me.
And what will it take to convince you that I am deadly serious? That if you stand on the side of the Darkspawn, I will have no choice but to destroy you. Yeah.
Patrick!
Princess.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, get to the night by getting to his horse. She just did a Grand Theft Auto on him.
Hold on tight.
She just Grand Theft Auto'd him. Bye. Stole your ride. Good luck walking back.
Princess, what have you become?
Look!
There you both are. And in one piece, too.
Just about. No thanks to Hendrik and his men.
So it was old Hendrik, was it? I thought it might be. I would have liked a wee word with the rascal, but I doubt he'd have told us much. Well, if even he's out for your blood, the forces of evil must have a stronger hold in Heliodor than ever. It wouldn't be the first time a once glorious kingdom had been brought low by monstrous powers, you know. Many years ago, a dastardly fiend destroyed an entire empire with his wicked ways. A legendary evil named Mordegon.
Mordegon.
His story is all but forgotten these days. I had to tramp halfway around the world just to learn his name. But the more I find out about him, the more I'm convinced he's the one behind all this. Dundrasil, the troubles in Heliodor, everything. Which is why you're going to have to stop him, laddie. The fate of the whole world depends on it. You're the luminary, after all. You were born to defeat the Dark One, but you'd be more than foolish to face him unprepared. He's a master of darkness, the like of which the world has never seen.
Then we must make our way to Yggdrasil as soon as we can. The legends of Arborea tell of a means of fighting the darkness that can only be found there. Veronica, that must be why we're supposed to take him there, mustn't it?
Here you are, laddie. It's yours at last. You'll be needing it if you're to make your way to the World Tree.
Looks like a little Christmas decoration, like a cheap
If
Christmas decoration.
Stick to show us the way. It's you. Lead on, luminary.
Yes, its own syllable, I know. Woo, get the rebow.
Well, can you see anything?
Don't tell me it's a dud! If that Noah sent us in a wild goose chase, I'll throttle him! He could have told us it didn't work before we wasted a zillion hours chasing it halfway across the world.
Now, let's not jump to conclusions. Why don't Jade and I join you, and we'll see if we can't make our way a bit closer to Yggdrasil and try again. We'll not give yous any bother, I promise.
About time! 15 hours at least. Maybe 20 hours. Well, I took my time though. So I'll say 15. 15 hours to get the full party. I believe this is the full party members. At least if the artwork is to be believed. So, yay, more party members! And so, yeah, go to the lineup here. Finally got everybody all good to go. Poor Sylvando's like 4 levels behind everybody else. So, I guess I'm no longer over leveled just because Rob and Jade came on at 23. When Sylvando joined, he was 4 levels behind everybody, or 5 levels. So, and I think that was because I was over leveled at the time. But I think I'm pretty at a good level right now. And this will make it so much easier to make those quests now. Those side quests where you have to get people pepped up together because you can put them in reserve to just store the peppiness. So, really, really cool. All right, guys. Ran a little bit late there, but I wanted to really get to a good break in the story. Got to see what's going on there. A lot of great story. A lot of great story. I mean, by far, I liked Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 8. The characters are interesting and it has a pretty good, setup and a mystery going on. But this definitely, in my opinion, the setup anyways eclipses that. It's not. Yeah, get this. So many gasps. I don't think there was any terribly big swerves there for me, but it's just a well-told story. The voice acting's great. It really draws you into that story. The voice actors are great. That you really feel the emotions from the voice actor. The guy playing the old man, you can feel, the sorrow in his voice. It just really pulls you in. It's great. Kind of reminds me of one of the reasons I've been listening to audiobooks versus nothing wrong with reading books, but the audiobooks, if you get a good reader, it makes all the difference because they can really draw you in just by the intonation of their voice. Whether or not get you still gasp moments, no, I didn't hear anybody else gasping. Busenheimer didn't gasp. The only gasp moments that made people gasp. Did you gasp? Maybe you did, but Busenheimer didn't gasp. So I didn't gasp. But it's cute. It's really, really cute. It's a pretty good story, yeah. And I think it's pretty neat how it kind of all ties in together. I like the different personalities, and the way that they complement each other. I think it's a really good group in terms of just complementing each other. So, I like the old man. Need to know more about Jay. Didn't do a whole lot of talking. Old man did a lot of talking. A lot of emotion there for the old man, and that was really good. So far, all we know about Jade is I was supposed to protect you when I was 5 years old, and I didn't do a great job. I lost you, and I've been feeling so guilty my whole life, and now we're together. I'll never let you go. So we'll have to see We'll have to see. Yeah, it's neat how each one of them rips off differently, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like you know, especially since the first three characters who fall into line are very much like, "You are the Luminary. We follow you no matter what." Which was a little weird. I mean, even the Rogue was very much. I mean, Susie Bad was like, "Oh, fudge, you're the Luminary." I knew my like. I mean, he wasn't. You know, he had quite a little bit of a different approach than the next two, but the three as a whole were very much slobbering all over him. And then, but then you have um, Jester guy. I'm already forgetting names already. And he's just he just seems like he's kind of genuinely a good guy, and he's in it somewhat for the kicks and somewhat because he wants to make the world a better place, and he's not really beholden to the whole luminary idea, but he knows they're doing good stuff. So yeah, you kind of go through each one of them, and you're like, yeah, they got some pretty good stuff going on there. So yeah, I think it just it if I that especially with the earlier Dragon Quest games, it didn't feel to me when I was playing through the Super Nintendo era games, it didn't feel to me that they had resonated with characters as well as let's say Final Fantasy 4 or 6. 4 or 6 felt light years ahead of Dragon Quest when it came to making me care about the characters. And then the PlayStation 1, you had Dragon Quest 7, and I still didn't care that much about the characters. I cared more about the little stories that was going on through each city. And you have that here. Each town we visit, it has a different theme, a different story, and they're all still interesting stories. And at first I was thinking maybe I won't care about these characters as much, but today's episode was very much a touchy-feely episode of the RP Gamer experience. And definitely, definitely care a lot more about those last couple of characters that joined in. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Very excited. I'll probably be on tomorrow morning around 8 or 8:30 or 9, somewhere between there for a couple of hours, for an hour or two to knock out some more of this if you're all around because like I said, I'm beelining this. So I'm playing as much as I can around work. So if you're around, but I will be off tomorrow night as I do have family plans. So you won't get a stream at the normal time, which definitely breaks my heart because that's precious hours that I could be advancing the game more. But I am told that I have to be an adult sometimes and I can't play games every single night. That is a travesty. You have been watching the RP Gamer Experience. It is a production of rpgamer.com. Check out everything we have over there on our website. Join us on our Discord, rpgamer.com/Discord, and come join in on the conversation. If you want to get hold of me, you can do so on Twitter at JCServant. And I'll even throw my, not that anybody ever emails me, but my email address, jcservant316@gmail.com. You're always welcome to shoot me off an email is another way to get a hold of me. Or just join us here on these streams. If you're watching this video on demand, I stream most weeknights starting around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I do random streams other times, just as the mood moves me and time becomes available. Follow us on twitch.tv/rpgamer to keep up with those surprise streams. Again, you've been watching the RP Gamer Experience. I've been your host, Phil Willis, aka JCServant, the Utah Polygamist, hoping that all of your future adventures have really great voice acting that help bring the emotion of the story home. Because tell you what, it's been aces in my book for tonight, and it's been very helpful in pulling me into the story that they're telling. Thank you, Moogle. Thank you, Chaos. Thank you, Cat Pianist. Thank you, anybody else who is lurking in the background watching. I really appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment, or if you're watching on demand on Twitch, I always appreciate it. Until next time, have a good evening.